I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant today, a little bit off topic. Um, so bear with me, please. Let me start by saying if your dog breed has the word Siberia in it, that dog does not like hot weather. Not at all. No dog likes to be pinned outside in the sun all day long while you're at work in your air conditioning. No dog likes it, but especially a dog with the name Siberia in the name. Terrible. I'm at it's hot. Let me start by saying that. It's hot. Not just a little, dangerous hot. I was working yesterday out in the field and it was so hot. It was almost to the point of danger for me as a human being. It was horrible. I was so hot. I get to this house and I saw something that made me stop whining so much about myself and thinking about how hot I was. I mean, I had sweat stains on my clothes. It was so hot. I pull up to this house, go up to the door. No one's home. And I heard this dog kind of trying to bark at me. I look over the side. There's a Siberian Husky in it's a kennel, a 6-foot kennel. I see those a lot. I live in a rural area, and a lot of people, they either chain their dogs up to a box or they put it in one of those kennels while they go to work. And a lot of the times you can tell the dog lives in that, never leaves that box, that 6-foot pen, never. This dog's kennel was in the middle of the sun. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In the horriblest hot heat of the day, this dog was in that kennel. And I'm so upset. That poor dog. That poor dog, Siberian Husky, in the heat. And believe me, it was hot. I cannot emphasize that enough. It was hot. In the sun, blazing right in the center of the sun. No shade except a little bit where the sun had gone a little bit down. So he had a little bit of a shadow from his dog box. That poor dog, he looked at me and barked a time or two, kind of like, whatever, take what you want, I don't care. Let me out of this box. And he was rubbing his face continuously on the side of that pen, which had to be blazing hot, that metal pen. He was just rubbing his face on the wires of that fence, which tells you he was losing his mind. It was so hot. He was losing his mind. And he just continuously rubbed his face on those wires. So upset. Nobody's home. And he's out of water. I almost forgot to bring that up. No water. Had an empty pan. No water. And it was about 90, 96, 98 Fahrenheit, which would have been over 100 with the heat index. Anyway, I called my mother. I was so upset. She said, well, you should have left a note. Well, I can't do that because with my job, it is confidential that I'm there, and it's authorized by Title 13 of the U.S. Code, which means it's confidential. And even if I came there and you were committing a crime, you were actively committing a crime, which that's a crime, or I think it should be. They should be locked up in a 6-foot pen with no shade for at least 5 minutes. Anyway, if you're committing a crime and I come to your address, it's just like the cable guy. If a service person comes to your home to provide a service for you and you are in the middle of a crime, we are not allowed to report that crime because of confidentiality for you. Because if we do that, people are going to stop trusting service people. If it gets around, that the cable guy will turn you in. If he sees you making meth or something, you're going to get turned in. Well, anyway, you just can't. It's not allowed. You can't do it. So in my job, especially because I work for the government, and everything that we talk about while I'm talking to you is confidential and protected by Title 13. I'm not allowed to tell anybody where I am, what I see there, nothing except for the sake of the information that I'm getting paid to collect while I'm there, which is not how you care for your dog. So I am forbidden by all kinds of regulations not to divulge anything that I found. So I couldn't leave a note. I could have sneaked and opened that gate, let that dog just open the gate and left. But it was a husky. They can be aggressive, especially when they are under extreme stress, which this poor dog was. So I could have been attacked. And the residents, there's always a really good chance that the residents have cameras, and I would got busted. I'd have got caught. So anyway, and that could have been prison time for me, just because under Title 13, I'm not supposed to do anything. It's your property, it's your business, how cruel you are to your dog. So I said all that to say this. I'm still so upset. Your dog already does not like to be in a 6-foot crate all day, or a pen all day. In the sun, okay, add that insult to injury. He's in the sun, no water, cruel. There's no other way to say it. If you do that, you're a cruel, thoughtless, lazy person. And if that's all you think of your pet, and I see it all the time, this one just totally broke my heart because the dog was literally going out of his mind, rubbing that metal fence. It was like he couldn't stop, just continuous, a nervous, he was losing it, or she. If that's all you think of animals, please do the animal a favor. Don't get it. Do not adopt a pet. If you are going to leave it in a cage all day, a 6-foot pen in the sun, and I see it in the wintertime too, all the time. It's heartbreaking. In some towns around here, again, rural country, so a lot of people just don't think about it. You get a dog, you leave it, and a lot of dogs run loose, and that's better because at least the dog can find shade and find a water source while you're at work, not even thinking about this poor animal that you've left out here. The dog can go down to the creek or something, go to the neighbors maybe. Maybe the neighbor's not as horrible as you are. But anyway, I see them chained to boxes. But a lot of the little communities around here, it is now illegal, finally, to have your dog locked up like that, either in a crate, or not a crate, a pen, or tied to a doghouse for more than 8 hours a day. It is a crime. And a lot of the little towns, I don't know how much they enforce it, but it is illegal. Well, this was way out in the country on a back road, so nobody ever saw that dog. I don't know if it ever left that pen. And maybe, mercifully, it died yesterday. Maybe. I just hope it did, because it's hot again today. Again, and the sun's still shining. And I guarantee it, if I drove back out there, that dog would be there. Unless he mercifully passed away. I hope he did. I hope he died. Because just thinking breaks my heart. That poor dog's brain just frying inside of his head yesterday. So, if that's all you think of a dog, yeah, they're cute and they're puppies, they're fun, they're fluffy, they're cuddly, they're super brilliant dogs, really smart dogs. But if that's all you think of them, please don't get one. Please not in the summertime. Please, if you have to have one in this kind of weather, it's a Siberian Husky, or a Malamute, has the word Alaska in front of it. Bernese Mountain Dog, hello, from the mountains of Switzerland. They like cold weather. They like cold. They like snow. They do not like to be pinned up in your grassy yard in the middle of the sunshine. Okay, I beat that horse, so I apologize. I'm going on too much, but I'm still so upset. I just wanted to post. That is my rant. If that's all you think of animals, please don't get one. Don't let your kids talk you into one. You're busy. I get it. You're busy. You have to work. I know that. You don't live in Bern, Switzerland, or Alaska to keep your Malamute comfortable when it's 90 degrees outside. So don't get one. And no matter what kind of a breed of dog you have, don't leave it in the sun in this weather. Our, I remember one winter time, I drove past. I didn't have to stop at this house, and I think of that poor dog, what I might have done without getting sent to prison, because I'm not allowed to do anything on your property that you've not given me permission to do without a risk of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. So I can't really do anything. But this dog, there was snow on, is about 4 inches deep. And this was like a little beagle dog, a little terrier, a little short-haired dog, tied in the driveway, no box, no shelter, no tree, no porch it could get under, nothing. In a driveway, in just the middle of the driveway, they had staked that little dog to a peg in the middle of the driveway in 4 inches of snow. And that little dog, oh man, it was just shaking and shivering, and he kind of had his rear end up off the ground as much as he could. His little dog had his rear end up off the ground to try to get out of the snow, the 4 inches of snow, just shaking. And I don't know if he was alive by the time the people got home from work. But please don't get a dog. Their responsibility. They're like kids who never grow up. They're always going to need you. They're going to need you. You're the smart one, supposedly. You're the smart one in this relationship. You're the one to protect this little helpless, defenseless animal. When you pin it to a peg in the middle of a snowbank in your driveway because you're pathetic and you can't think of anything else to do for your dog while you're gone for the day, can't even give it a box to huddle in where it could at least build up some body heat, or if you're going to leave it for all day long in the blazing sun, a Siberian Husky, I'm sorry, you are a pathetic, worthless person. And just send me all the hate email you want. I don't care, all the messages. I'm just so upset by this. But anyway, that was my rant. I went on way too long. I wanted to make about a 4-minute video about this, but I just get going and please don't get a dog. If you cannot give it the time, the attention, the housing, you don't have nowhere to keep it safe during the day while you're at work, you're running with the kids, you're running errands, you're doing your thing. I get that. We're all busy. I'm a very busy person. So if you don't have the time to dedicate to that dog, to give it, or cat, to give it a decent life, don't get it. And one more thing, do not shop, adopt. Do not buy a dog from a breeder. I'm sure breeders are wonderful people. Many of them, they love their animals, and they breed a select breed because they like that breed, they know a lot about it, and they care about the breed. It doesn't matter. I don't care. The shelter is full of dogs. People's backyards are full of dogs that they treat like that, putting it in a pen in the middle of the blazing sun. Those dogs need homes. Those dogs need care. Don't buy a dog unless you buy it from a shelter, because then you're basically just donating money. Whatever. I'm done. I'm sorry. Yeah, I went on way too long. Just don't be a horrible person. How about that? I'm just going to end it with that. Don't be awful. Comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. Am I just totally out of it? It's like, Teresa, it's a dog. Things happen. They're animals. The Lord takes care of them. Don't get so upset. Don't get so wound up about it. Life is short. There's starving children in the world. There's a lot more things to worry about and get upset over. There's wars. Abuse, child trafficking going on right here in the United States. Bringing little children across the border, putting them to work in slave labor camps, and of course sexual sin. The sex trade is happening in America. I guarantee it's happening in your town. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff to get upset over. But anyway, I was really upset about that dog. That just got me going. I apologize. Have a great day. And if you got a dog outside right now, at least minimum Make sure he's got water and shade. And if you can, bring it in. Let it sleep in the air conditioning today. You can take it back out tonight. It'll cool down. But if you can't stand to have a dog in your house, but just bring it in for a couple hours. Let its poor little brain cool off a little, and take care of your animals, whatever it is that's been entrusted to you. Love one another. Be kind today. Be kind to your pets. Make someone's day and make today count.